Hello everyone, Amanda here. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm going to share some places to look for inspiration if you are new to art journaling, the same as me. I'm very new to it. It's something I'm exploring and I'm building up my collection as I go. And I thought I'd come and share some physical inspiration here in the form of books, and I've also got a list. It's not a long list, but it's a great list of channels that you really must go and check out. And these ladies, and they are all ladies, inspire me, and they are the ones that as soon as I see something new come up, I have to watch. And some that I've binge watched. I'm going to give you the list, and I'm not only just going to give you the list, I'm going to tell you why these ladies are great. So here are some good books to get you started if you're new to art journaling, okay? Or junky journaling with arty bits in. And none of these individually are over expensive. Okay, so these are books that you keep for reference, for inspiration, for ideas. They're not for cutting up and collaging, although you could. So the first one that I suggest you get is something with colour palettes in. There's heaps out there. You don't have to get this one. Have a look. I have gotten most of these on the Big A, unfortunately, because you know, my local bookshop is Waterstones, and if you're listening, Waterstones, you're a big fat letdown when it comes to art books. And these are very inexpensive because some art books can be really, really expensive. So a basic colour palette, have a look, see what you like. This one was really inexpensive. I think it was about £13. This is by Sienna Colourstone. Okay, if I can find all of the links, I will put links to all of these in the description box, except for the last one. I don't know if I've got the link for that still. And so it's a book full, it's just full of pictures with the colour palettes, okay, that you can use for inspiration. Okay, so how many have we got here for our £13? Let me just check it out. 60, 64 different colour palettes, okay? Very, very inexpensive. All right, you've got all of the hex codes, and the pictures alone are just gorgeous. They could inspire a journal page or a theme. You know, you could just flick through, open it up and go, oh, a pink flower. That's what I'm going to do my journal page on this week, and I'm going to use these colours. So really, really inexpensive, okay? It is only thin paper, all right, but, you know, it's just for reference. I just think it's fantastic. I'm really, really happy with that one. This is one by Dina Wakley. Now, I have to say that the style that Dina Wakley works in is not my style, okay? I know what my style is now. However, you can get inspiration from all different kinds of people. And Dina Wakley is a very, very, very talented artist. Not to mention an incredibly clever business lady. And this book is really good because it goes through things step by step with you. Okay, so she talks about tools and materials so that you know what gesso is, and you know what a Stabilo awl is, and what they all do, and all. So it goes through everything. Okay, all of the different mediums and everything. It talks about page layout, symmetry. You learn everything here. Okay, so that's talking about, you know, where to place things on your page, okay, to get good balance. So although this is not I'd never make something like this, I've learned a lot from this book, and you know, I do things similar but not exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? You can get inspiration. And there's loads and loads of ideas. And then obviously, you know, there's things she's going through step by step that you can follow. And then now this I like with the stamping and the layering. Just some of these people with no faces, I don't like them. And then like these, it's very simple. But when you're new, it can feel like it's really difficult. And so this book kind of goes through it all step by step for you. It is very, very worthwhile if you can afford to purchase a couple of things to give you ideas and inspiration that you can keep referring back to. Or like I say, even just get an idea like, all right, okay, I'm going to get my inspiration from that image there today. And go away and do it. You might not even do a face. You might do a person, or you might do a house. But you get the inspiration. You might take the same colours. Okay? So these kind of books are absolutely invaluable. Invaluable. Okay? So that is the Dina Wakley, and this is called Art Journal Freedom. And then I had to get this one. Absolutely love this lady. I love everything she does. I think she's really quirky. If you ever get to see Dina Wakley doing anything or doing a class or anything, she's quite quirky as well, but very business focused. Okay, very business focused. That's not a bad thing. That's what she does. I find Tamara a little bit more spiritual. She's very thoughtful and very mindful, and she doesn't mind talking about how she suffers with mental health and things like that, and she will talk about it and how it reflects in your art, and I just find her art it's quite whimsical and fun and childlike, very bright colours, so it's not grungy and abstract, and I can't explain myself fully, but Tamara's is fun. Okay, and then again, this book goes through what to do, your products, and then she shares inspiration, there's step-by-steps of how to recreate what she does, and there's simpler projects to try, and it's just really lovely. And I love what she does because she creates things with the most beautiful, bright and bold colours. I mean, look at that, it's so fun. And you might think, well, that's really childlike, but when you watch her, she's an extremely talented artist with paints, and the things that she comes out with, and if you watch, you will learn a heap of stuff. So that is Create Your Life book by Tamara Laporte. Okay, and I actually bought one of her classes several years ago, and I will tell you now that she's become very popular and very renowned, and that same class now is probably 5 times what I originally paid for it. So I'm holding on to it for dear life. And then I found this one. So this is not by anybody that I know. These ones I picked because I knew the artist. This is just a general book. Okay, it's what I call a lookbook or an inspiration book, and this is called Watercolor Texture for Artists by Anna Victoria Calderson. And again, going through everything from brushes to paints, all the explanations. If you take time to read it, you'll be surprised what you learn. And talking about colour swatching, and she's showing you all the different techniques, wet on dry techniques. So you could go through page by page and you could try everything. And then as you go through, she's doing all sorts of different techniques to add texture. Okay, and then obviously adding your doodling and things like that. Really, really, really brilliant. I love this. And that is just done with brush strokes. It's just brush strokes using all different colours. It's fantastic. I love it. It's really, really inspirational. And these, it looks really complex, but it's very, very simple. Just simple brush marks. Okay. Loads of ideas there that you could get ideas for backgrounds, colour palettes. And this is these are meant to be like sand dollars. So all it is a circle with more circles. What a simple idea, but how fantastic does that look? Mindful painting. So you've got lots and lots and lots of inspiration in there. There's inspiration on doodles, inspiration on colours, inspiration on techniques and textures. This is a very, very, very good book. I've spent quite a while looking through it, and it's just fantastic. And then I've shown this before. This is art journaling, and this is just a magazine rather than a book, but there's heaps of inspiration in there. I'm not going to rest on this one too long because I've shown it before. Absolutely loads. You can just again, if you're struggling for an idea, come to a book, open a page and go, right, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do some blue with green blobs and flowers and do some writing and just do it. Okay? So those are some very, very good books if you're new to it and you'd like to look into it a bit more and maybe learn a bit more in depth. And the price of these books is far cheaper than taking a class. And you're getting all the information and you can refer back to it and refer back to it. Okay? So channels, and I've written them down and I've written the names. I'm going to leave links in the description box below. I strongly suggest you go and at least have a look at 2 or 3 videos of each of these ladies. And then if you like them, then subscribe and click the notification bell, because what they provide is absolutely fabulous. So my favourite lady at the moment is Sean Petit. I've mentioned her several times. She does a lot of collage art. So she'll start with a collage background, just ripping up pages and sticking it on, and then she'll add art over the top. Either she paints or she stencils, but it's very basic shapes, and it's the detail that she puts that makes those very basic shapes that can just look like blobs come to life. But it makes you feel like you could absolutely 100% do what she does, because the way she shares it makes it feel doable. And I can only watch people where I feel like what they're doing is doable for me. If I think it's too hard, I'm like, well, that's really nice, but I'm never going to be able to do it, you know. So very, very nice. And she does a lot of grungy things as well. So if you like grunge, you like things to look, you know, a bit grunger, then that's your lady. Willowing, that's Tamara. Okay. Fantastic videos. And just watch that lady paint one of these faces. It is so inspirational and she is so talented. Really lovely to watch. She's fun as well. She is fun. Lale Mille Arts, or Lale Mille. I think she's French. And the reason that I like her, if you look at some of her journal flip-through videos, her style, and I actually found her after I kind of found my style, is what I want to be able to do. That's what I aspire to do. And she tells stories on her pages. Okay, so she'll do a big spread and she uses a mixture of images from magazines, her own art, whatever, and the page ends up telling like a story. I don't know how long they take her. I would imagine she does them over several weeks. They are stunning, and that is what I aspire to. Her work is absolutely beautiful. Denise Love, lovely American lady. Really fun to watch. She's got a wicked sense of humour. She giggles all of the time. I like how she gets really excited when she makes a mark on the paint, and then she'll lift it up and she'll go, oh, that looks good, and she gets really excited, and it makes it fun. Okay. And she does a lot of like just abstract painter pages, nothing complicated, just slaps the paint on, puts some mark making on, some stencils on, and just sees what she comes up with. And it's fantastic, really worth a watch. New lady to me, Jane Royston. Now, in the back of my head, I have heard of this lady before, but I don't know where. I don't know if she's been on a design team or something. I don't know. She doesn't have a big channel. These other ladies have got quite large channels, quite a small channel. She's from the UK, very, very talented. She is what I call quite a tidy creator. It's almost like it's quite precise. Whereas like Denise, for example, will just slap stuff on. I'm not saying that Jane doesn't just sometimes slap stuff on, but it's very precise. But she's so artistic, very, very inspirational, well worth a watch, Then we've got Suzanne Rose. A lot of people will have heard of Suzanne Rose. She does a lot of collage and mixed media and mark making. She does have her own like line of stencils and stamps, so she uses those a lot. But just the way she puts things together, they're fun And, you know, you could recreate a lot of what she does just with mark making. And I just think it comes together really nice. I enjoy watching her. Willow Wonders. Absolutely love watching Willow Wonders. Lovely, lovely. More on the grungy, junky style. But some of her watercolour work, and she does what I call mindful watercolour, which is repetitive, like doing a full page of triangles and just painting them, or leaves and just painting them, and playing with all different mixes of colour. It's very, very mindful to watch, and her art journals are really, really inspirational. I started doing my sidekick journal after seeing hers. Lots of inspiration there. Really, really fun to watch. I don't really know how to say this lady's name. So I'm going to say Targa or Tega Journals. Now, I think, is she maybe Dutch? I think she might be Dutch, but I'm not sure. And she's really fun. When you first watch her, you think, oh, she sounds a bit prim and proper. But when you listen to her, she's awesome fun. And she's got a lovely, soft, cute voice that's relaxing to listen to. And she does what I call soft mixed media. You know, she does a lot of collage fodder and a lot of watercolour, just grid watercolouring, but then adds fantastic doodle art over the top. Really beautiful, and her journals are stunning. Her journal pages. And then I have to mention the first ever person that I ever saw doing mixed media, don't know how many years ago, probably 15 or more, and that is Artful Evidence. And sadly, absolutely distraught, this lady no longer uploads. I think, I don't know why, I never found out why, but she's from the UK, and I just love her videos, and I will often go back and re-watch them, even though I've watched them all, because there's always something new that you can see in her work. So Artful Evidence, fantastic artist, absolutely love them. I have a feeling that maybe she was like an art teacher or something, I'm not sure, but yeah, really lovely. So that is my concise list. I could go on forever, but those are the main ones that I watch, along with Vicky, whose name I do know, but I can't pronounce it, so I don't say it. The Greek lady that does all the stuff for Stamperia. And obviously Martha from... Martha. What is her channel called? Is it Martha Small Art? Oh, I can't remember her name, but you know, she's the one with all the collage books on Amazon with the beautiful fairies who inspired me for some of my work. Stunning. I've not put them on here because I don't watch them as much as I used to, and they're just like, they're like staples. Everybody knows about them. These ladies you might not know about, and especially Jane Royston, definitely. Targia journals. Slightly smaller channels, well worth a watch. And I would definitely say please go watch Sean Petit and Lally Millet Arts. Absolutely outstanding. So that's my advice for you. I hope you can get some inspiration. I love to share people that inspire me, so that then you can get the same inspiration, because they really are very valuable channels, and these are really awesome books. I could have done like the 10 best art journal books, but you know, we don't all have the money to go out buying heaps and heaps and heaps of books. I bought one a month, okay, one a month over several months, and you know, I might not buy any more until I see one really amazing. But it's worth getting a small collection so that you've always got some inspiration on hand every day. I hope that helps, and I hope that I can share who inspires me so that they can inspire you and you can get the benefit. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon.